Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Yes, it's been a while with face to face. Now, didn't do college football and NFL predictions for a video, but I'm going to give you the rundown quickly of what we had. We had Georgia, Florida. I thought Florida was going to win. He had Georgia. We both had Florida State beating Miami, so that didn't work out for us. Oklahoma State beating TCU. We had Utah. We both had Utah over Washington. I actually had Oregon State over Arizona, surprisingly. As an Oregon fan, for some reason, something about this Beavers team, I'm not going to lie, they do have a little fight to them, and something feels different about Oregon State for once. Both had Tennessee beating UAB. I thought it was going to be closer. I went to the game. We both had Memphis beating SMU. That happened. Both had North Carolina beating Virginia. That did not happen. Both had Oregon beating USC. Both had UCLA beating Colorado. And we both had Hawaii beating Fresno State, but it didn't happen. We were both 7-4. And we're 67 and 44. Now, you look at the title and you're like, what the hell, this ain't even predictions. It ain't predictions. But let me talk about my NFL. I went 7-7. That's all I'm going to say about it. Another 7-7 week. Now, this right here, we are going to talk about the playoff rankings for college football. Now, I made a list of my top 25 and compared to their top 25. Now, their top 25 goes as this. 25, SMU. 24 is Navy. Oklahoma State's 23. Boise, 22. Memphis, 21. Cincinnati, 20. Wake Forest, 19. Iowa, 18. Minnesota, 17. Kansas State, 16. Notre Dame, 15. Michigan, 14. Wisconsin, 13. Baylor, 12. Auburn 11 to start off the top 10. Florida's 10, Oklahoma 9, Utah 8, Oregon 7, Georgia 6, Clemson 5, Penn State 4, 3 is Bama, 2 is LSU, and we have a new number 1 in Ohio State, according to the playoff rankings. Now. I'm going to discuss it, but let me do my top 25, and it goes like this. We got 25, Virginia. People forget about Virginia, but they are, actually a decent team. I know they lost to a subpar Miami team, but they are, a pretty decent defensive team, and I think they deserve to be in the top 25, just in barely. 24 for me is Boise. Now, they were at 22. Not much to say about it. I do agree with the committee. I do have Oklahoma State 23. I got SMU at 22. I got them higher, and this is why. They almost came back against Memphis. For me, SMU shouldn't have dropped to 25. I think they should barely drop because it was a very good game. 21 for me is Iowa. Now, there are 18 on their list. Iowa, to me, it's just a team that can't get over no hump and beat like a good team. I don't know. I don't like watching Iowa play. So maybe it's, a dislike of watching Iowa play. But I just don't think they're, I don't think they're 18th. I don't think they're 3 more spots up. Now, this is where I got Kansas State at 20. They got them at 16. I think it's too high. 20 is perfect. Yes, I know they beat Oklahoma. This is a 2-loss team, but how? And I don't care about how bad the scheduling is. If you got Minnesota at 17, there is no way Kansas State, a 2-loss team like that, should be above Minnesota. That's just my opinion. 19, I've got Memphis coming in. I got them 2 more spots up than the committee has. I have them at 19. Very good win in the SMU. I got Wisconsin at 18, and they got them at 13. Let me just say this. Wisconsin is way too damn high on the committee's list. Yes, I know they destroyed Michigan. Probably better than some of the teams that I'm about to say. Possibly. Could beat them in the matchup. But this is my list. Oh well. At 16, I've got Cincinnati. Their only loss is to Ohio State, the number one ranked team in the nation at this point with the playoffs. Undefeated. Minus Ohio State. I mean, what, 7-1, 8-1? I mean, they should be up there. At least 17 in my book. 3 more spots up. 16, this is where I have Wake Forest. I have caught glimpses of Wake Forest. They are a legit team to me. And Clemson might want to watch out. Because sure as hell, Clemson hasn't faced nobody except Texas A&M. And Texas A&M is not ranked anymore. North Carolina was a close one. North Carolina is a below 500 team. But with that being said, Wake Forest could make a huge... And if Clemson loses any of these games coming up, Clemson is out. I don't care if they win the conference. The conference is just so damn weak. Just so damn weak. I got Notre Dame at 15. I do agree with the committee. I've got Michigan at 14. I agree with them. Very good spots for both the teams. Now, this is where some may agree, some might not. I know their schedule is not good, but they are undefeated. Minnesota at 13 for me. Baylor 12 for me. I do agree with the committee. Back-to-back undefeated teams. Baylor hasn't faced the top-notch. They faced Iowa State, but they haven't faced the top-notch yet. We'll see. We'll see. They got a tough one at TCU, which could be a upset alert. Minnesota, they got Penn State this week. We'll see what Minnesota's about, and yes, it is at home. 11, I got Auburn. You will see this top 10 is really... But, I mean, this is my top 10. It, just maybe a little difference, of course. But... Mostly, 10. At 10, I've got Oklahoma. I like Kansas State. I know they can surprise people, and they did with Oklahoma. But I think this is the second worst loss of any top 10 team this year. Second worst loss. That's why I've got them at 10. And I've bumped Florida up to 9 for me. Florida, man, those losses they have, they're tough. Very close too. Quarterbacks getting into play, the defense is always there. It's, when you face against good offenses, that's what happen. So Florida is very impressive to me. They sit at number 9 as a 2-loss team. That's the highest 2-loss team I've got. At 8, I do have Utah, like the committee has. At 7, this is where it switches. For me, this is where I do my case. At number 7, I've got Georgia. And 6, I've got Oregon. Now, a lot of people say Oregon should be ahead of Georgia. And then there's some that say Georgia should be ahead of Oregon. Fine. This is where everybody can debate. It don't matter. What your opinions are. This is what my opinion is on it. No bias here. Everyone, I'm an Oregon fan, but no bias here. Promise. Georgia, yes, they have better wins than Oregon. But recently, the committee over the last few years, bad losses is key. That's why Ohio State didn't get in that one year. they have a terrible loss against Purdue. Now, this game was close for Georgia against South Carolina. But South Carolina, they had their backup in. The backup got injured, so they had basically a wide receiver at quarterback that couldn't throw. I mean, he's supposed to be a quarterback, but he couldn't throw the damn ball. He just ran. So they won with a third-string quarterback. On the road at Georgia. Georgia lost at home against South Carolina. And let's mention South Carolina, 2 weeks later, loses to Tennessee by 21. The same team that lost to a struggling BYU team now. And a Georgia State team out of the Sun Belt Conference. Sorry to bring Tennessee up on this, but that's just how it has to correlate. And how my argument is that Oregon is ahead of Georgia. Oregon's loss is against Auburn. Last possession. Everyone knows what happened. It was week 1. Week 1 loss. And I'll probably say it throughout the week. Say Ohio State keeps on winning. The winner of LSU and Bama, they're in. And to me, Clemson's in if they win out. And the winner of Oregon and Utah in the Pac-12 championship game, if they keep on winning, they're in. That right there is the big key. Now, you're going to disagree with me. I don't care. But that's how I think it will go down. Now, Georgia 7, Oregon 6 for me. Now, the committee had it different. This is where, these next 2 spots, I differ from the committee. And I get why the committee put Clemson 5 and, surprise people. I got Penn State 5. Now, I know Penn State has the better resume and everything. But Clemson is the defending national champions. I know they've struggled here and there. They've looked better in the last, month or so. Overall, just playing. I know they haven't faced nobody really. But when Clemson wants to turn it on, bam, they can turn it on. So, for that reason, I got Penn State 5, Clemson 4, and this is where I agree with the committee after this. Bama 3, LSU 2, and Ohio State 1. For me, Ohio State been the best team offensively and defensively. They could easily win it all. We'll see what will happen, but I really don't see Ohio State losing at all. I really don't anymore. So, that is my top 25 playoff rankings. I hope you enjoy and everything. If you did, smash that like button. Comment down below, what some of your rankings are. I mean, what do you think of the top 4, maybe top 8, top 10, at least top 10. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I will see you guys next time here on the Tyler Keller Show.